Hi there and welcome to our Pilates session. So today we're going to be focusing on a glute session, mostly using our bands. So let's begin our warm up. So popping the band to the side for now. We're going to take those feet together, coming into our Pilates triangle. So taking those toes out and the heels to join in. We're then imagining that helium balloon pulling us up towards the ceiling, our shoulder blades melting down the back, our backs nice and lengthened, neck nice and tall, and then we're just going to rock side to side, letting our foot sink into that mat. Swaying side to side, and everything relax. Good. Now we're going to take that weight towards the toes, coming forwards, and then back towards the heels. And then back to the toes and towards the heels. So really thinking about keeping nice and long, like that helium balloon is pulling you all the way up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to come into some shoulder rolls. So bringing those shoulders all the way up and letting them relax down. Then up. So we're breathing in and out. In and out. Okay, now turning the head to the side, just feeling a nice little stretch. Coming back to the middle and then round to the other side. Good. So when we're doing any of these exercises today, we're not pushing it into any pain. If we have any pain, we stop. And then now taking the head to the side, just gently to where it feels comfortable, to the other way. And one more. Good. Right, grabbing our band. So we need a long band for this one. We're popping it just sort of where that bra level would sit behind our back. And then we're grabbing the band at the front. So feet facing forward, thinking about engaging that core. So like we've got that Pilates diamond, we're tipping backwards and keeping that tailbone tucked under. With the arms out to the front here, and then we're going to come into a nice squat, reaching those hands forwards, squeezing the bottom and coming up. And back down. Okay. Keeping that breathing going throughout. So breathing in and out. And back in. Good. Let's do 4 more of those. So really thinking about where our knee position is. We don't want those knees dropping inwards. We're keeping them out. Back down. Lovely. Okay, well, let's do 1 more. Good. Okay, now coming into our squat, we're going to hold that position and we're going to reach above our head and then come back down. Stand up. We're coming back into that squat. Arms go all the way up towards the ceiling, back down and stand up. Lovely. Good. Keeping that breathing, keeping that core tucked in, not allowing that back to arch, keeping everything engaged throughout. Good. Okay, taking the band to the side, and then we're going to reach up and over, get a nice stretch through that back. Back to the centre, and then come to the other side. So just taking it to where it's comfortable, and then back to the middle. One more to each side. Just sliding that hand down the leg, reaching down towards the floor. Lovely. Okay, coming back into our squat position then. So we're going to come down and we're going to row the arms forwards and then back. Again, forwards and back. Good, keeping that head nice and long. Good, and 1 more. Good. So you start to feel those glutes working. Popping the band to the side, and we're just going to gently roll down towards the floor, rolling nice and slowly, coming down each vertebrae at a time. And when we get to the bottom, we're just allowing that body to relax And then slowly coming up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Again. Gonna do one more. And then coming down onto the mat. So, we're going to take our band. So if you've got a looped band like this, even better. If not, if you take your long band and tie it into a knot. So, we're going to pop the band just above our knees. And we're going to start with some glute bridge. So band goes above the knees. Starting with some pelvic tilts before we come into that glute bridge. So popping your head onto that block. Hands coming onto our tummy into that Pilates diamond. And we're tipping the pelvis backwards, drawing that back into the ground. You can breathe in, and we're going to relax off. And go again. And relax. Breathing in and engaging that core, that pelvic floor. Lovely. So from here, we're going to squeeze the bottom up, coming up towards the ceiling, and slowly lowering back down, feeling that back down. Our back should touch first and then bottom follows. So with the band here, we're thinking about keeping the legs squeezed out against the band, keeping that resistance throughout the movement. Let's go again. So lifting that pelvis off first, tucking under, squeezing all the way up, holding and slowly lowering back down. Back touches that mat first, and then we tuck the pelvis back. Lovely. And again. Back down. Right, one more. So breathing in and out. And back in. And down. Good. So this time we're going to do the same. We're going to come up to that glute bridge, and then we're going to come into our pulses. So we come up to that bridge. I'm going to pulse out for 5. So good. Slowly lowering back down, feeling back down towards the mat. And a little rest there. Reset that core. Neck staying nice and long. And we go again. So. Slowly lowering back down, feeling that back down. Good, and up again. Lovely, one more. Taking that tailbone and squeezing that bottom. Pulse in and out for 5. Good, and slowly lowering back down. So this time, last glute bridge, and then we can give those glutes a little bit of rest. So we're going to come up to our glute bridge, keeping that core engaged, not arching that back, and we slowly take one leg out, or one leg stretch, and then come back in and lower down. And then we go on to the other side, so squeezing up, take that leg off, and slowly lower back down. So really thinking about keeping those hips nice and high. We're not arching the back, not losing that core engagement, keeping everything tucked in, lengthen through the leg, back down. And again on the other side. Right, one more. So squeezing up, feeling it up towards the ceiling, keeping those glutes engaged. You take one leg out and slowly, slowly lowering back down to the bed. One more. Lovely. Okay, so taking that band off, let's give those glutes a little bit of a rest and pop it to the side for now. And then we're just grabbing one knee, gently hugging that towards the chest. grabbing the other one. Just letting everything relax. And then we'll take both up, and just do some gentle rocks to the side. Good. So we're going to come into some side lying work here. We need to grab that band again, popping it just above the knees again for us. And we're going to lie onto the side. So take the head block. I'm going to pop that under the arm here, just to provide a bit of support. So from this position here, we're thinking about keeping everything in line. Neck stays nice and long. Hips are going to stay stacked on top of each other. So like we've got headlights on our hips and we're pointing them forwards, keeping everything engaged in the core so we're not arching that back. We're going to straighten the legs out. So we should be all in line in one nice straight line. And then from this position, if we can keep in their hand on the hip, if we need a little bit more support, hand comes in front, and we're going to lift the leg up and down. So we're squeezing through this glute muscle at the side. So really slow and controlled. Do two more. So thinking about keeping those hips stacked on top of one another, and we're not letting them drop back. Lovely. Okay. So this time we're going to take the bottom leg out of our band. That's it. And then we're going to come back into our side lying. The front leg's going to drop over. And what we're doing here is we're drawing that bottom leg up towards the ceiling. So squeezing those inner thigh muscles. And we're coming up and down. Again, thinking about that nice neutral line, keeping everything engaged. Neck stays nice and long. Again, for more support, if you need your hand here. But ideally, we want that hand on the hip so you can feel what those hips are doing. If it's feeling uncomfortable lying on your side, with that underneath hip, you can always pop a softer cushion underneath the hip just to provide a bit more support as well. Good, let's do two more. Okay, from here we're going to straighten the legs out. And this time we're going to take the top leg up and the bottom one to join. And then we slowly lower back down. Again, we're thinking about this nice long body, keeping everything in line, core stays engaged, hips, we don't want them rocking around, keeping them nice and steady, stacked on top of each other. Again, hand here for a little bit more support. It's a bit of a tricky one for the balance, gets that kicking in as well. So I'm going to lift the top leg up, bottom leg to join, and slowly lowering back down. Good. So keeping that breathing throughout. Nice deep breaths in and out. Good. And again, coming up, join, and slowly, slowly lower. Right, one more. And slowly, slowly lower. Lovely. Okay. So pop the head block to the side for now. Band can come off for a minute, and we're just going to have a nice stretch out of that back. So coming into our shelf stretch. And then we're just going to walk the hands all the way to the left. Get a nice stretch through that right side. And then coming across back to the right side. Lovely stretch through the left side. And back to the middle. Letting everything relax here. Good. Okay, taking the head blocks, we're going to go on to the other side. So we're going to repeat those two exercises on the other leg. So band comes back just above our knees again. Taking that head block, just to make it a little bit comfier, popping that underneath the head there. So thinking about everything lining up again, a nice way to do it is lining yourself up along the back of the mat. And we're thinking about keeping everything long, keeping everything in that straight line and keeping the core engaged. So what we're avoiding is that arching, keeping everything tucked in. And then we're going to squeeze that top leg and lift up against the band and slowly lower it back down. So again, hand here for a little bit more balance and support. But if we pop our hand here and feel what those hips are doing. So really working hard against the band on the way up and slowly, slowly lowering down, fighting against that band and wanting to bring you back. Good, let's do 4 more. Lovely, okay, and then we're taking that bottom leg out of the band, coming back onto the side, and we're going to be working that bottom leg again. So thinking about this position again, resetting again, engaging that core. I'm going to drop the top leg over, up and over, and then we're squeezing this bottom leg to feel it in the inner thigh muscles. So we squeeze up towards the ceiling and slowly come back down. Good, and 4 more. Lovely, okay, so straightening that top leg out, bringing it to joint. Okay, from here, again, we're going to take top leg up, bottom leg to join, and slowly lower it down. Coming into our torpedo here. Slowly, slowly lowering here. And then, lovely. Good, let's do 1 more. Lovely, okay, popping the head block to the side again, take that band off, and we're going to come into our nice shelf stretch again, letting everything relax. Walk those hands across to the left, feel that lovely stretch through the right side. And back to the other side. Okay, coming on to our all fours here. So what I want you to think about here, we're going to start with our cat camel. So we're going to round the back, like we've got that helium balloon pulling us all the way up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to drop all the way through. So just doing a couple of those to get the back nice and loose. Really stretching through. Pull it all the way up as far as we can towards the ceiling, feeling that nice stretch around the shoulder blades, and all the way through, sticking that bottom out. Good. So we're going to find that sort of halfway point between those two. So thinking about engaging that core up. We don't want to be too far rounded up or rounded down, just somewhere nice in the middle. From here, we're going to start off by taking the right hand. We're going to reach that forward. So not bringing the hand too far, so we start to arch that back. We want to keep everything engaged, and then we slowly come back down. Reaching up with the other one. So it's not about going as high as we can with this one. It's about that engagement and keeping that nice neutral spine as we do it. Thinking about neck nice and long, shoulder blades mounting back down and towards the bottom. Good. So reaching all the way out. Let's do 1 more on each side. Keeping that nice relaxed breathing throughout, not holding our breaths. Good. Okay, this time we're going to take the right leg out first. So again, keeping that core engaged, that back nice and neutral. And we're going to extend the leg out straight. So if we lift that leg too high, we start to get that arch. Want to keep everything tucked in and coming back to the middle. So if our knees are closer together, makes it a little bit harder. Got a smaller base of support. So bring those knees out, one about hip width apart with this, and then we extend that left leg away. Good. And then slowly coming back in. And then back onto that right side, extending away, lengthening the body, coming back to the middle. Lovely. Good. Breathe in and out. Good. And in and out to move. Good. So I'm going to pop this movement together. So we're going to add the arms and the legs for this one and come into our bird dog exercise or Superman. So going to really think about this engagement through the core here, keeping everything nice and neutral, back's not arching, and we're going to do opposite arm and leg here. So works the coordination a little bit here. So we're going to take that right leg out and our left arm out at the same time. So reaching forward, keeping everything engaged, and then coming back to the middle. Okay, good. And then we're going to switch sides. So right arm is going to stretch forward, left arm kicking backwards. And lengthen through the body. Lovely. Good. Back onto the opposite side. It really challenges our balance here. We want to keep everything engaged. Don't want any cheating, arching, and losing that core engagement. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Good. One more. Okay. So give those arms a little bit of a rest. Just doing some gentle wrist circles here. Okay, so this time we're going to come back onto our glute exercises, get those glutes firing up again. If it's feeling uncomfortable on the wrist, just pop your hands into a bit of a fist position here, just offload the wrists a little bit. Okay, so from here, we're going to keep that core engaged, that nice neutral spine. Engaging the glute muscle, and we bring the leg up and back down. We're going to do turn on this leg. Good. Okay, coming back up onto the right leg, and we're going to pulse here. So breathing in and out. Lovely, and relax. Breathing in and out. Let's go again. Good, one more. And back down. Good. Right, this time we're going to take, still working on that right leg, we're going to take the leg out straight and we're going to bring the leg up and slowly back down. And again, up and back down. Up and let's do 5 more. Really be feeling those glutes burning now. Good. One more, keep pushing. Lovely. Okay, coming back into that shelf stretch. Just let everything relax. Give those hands a nice circle. Good. Okay, coming now onto the left leg. So we're going to take that left leg up and back down. Keeping that core engaged, keeping everything tucked in, that back nice and neutral, head and neck nice and long. Let's do 5 more. Lovely. Okay, coming into our pulses again. So float that leg up, and then we're breathing. And back down. A bit of a rest, engaging that core as we float back up. Good. And one more. Float that leg up, engage that core. Lovely. And good. Okay, last one for that that left leg. So we're going to take the leg out straight again, keeping that core engaged, back nice and flat. Think about we've got that tray of drinks on our back and we don't want to spill anything. And we're going to lift up and down. Let's do 10 of these. Keeping that breathing going. Just coming back into that shelf stretch. Getting those wrists moving again. Okay, coming back into our cat camel. So we're just stretching all the way up towards the ceiling and then sticking that bottom backwards. From here, we're just gently rocking those hips side to side, working through all those vertebrae. That's it. Good. Down, just stretching. Let's do one more. Good. And then we're going to come into our nice sharp stretch again. Bringing those hands to the right. And coming back towards the left. So curling the toes under, and we're going to do a nice slow roll up to stand. Coming up vertebrae by vertebrae. Taking it nice and slow and steady. Good. And then coming back to the middle. So we're just going to come into some trunk rotation. So we're going to bring the arms up. We're going to rotate around to the side, where it's comfortable, and then through to the other side. And around again. And the other way. So when we're doing this, we're thinking about the 2 headlights on our hips pointing forwards. And then when we rotate, good. And again, one more to each side. Good. Okay. Bringing the arms out to the side, we're going to drop one arm down to the side and bring the other arm down to join towards that foot. I'm just going to hang there for a second. You need to bend that front leg. That's absolutely fine. So we're aiming to lock that knee out. Good. We take the arm, float the arm back up, and then back to the middle. Right, this time going down to the left side, so we come down with the hand and then join with the other side. Again, if we need to bend that knee slightly, fine. And then bringing that arm up and then back to join. Good, let's do 2 more on each side. Just pause in here for a second and then we come back up. Lovely. Good, 1 more on each side. And float back up. And And down to the other side. Good. Okay, coming into our toy soldiers. So I'm going to bring the feet back together, take them slightly apart, just coming in and out. Good. Coming into some arm circles, so we're going to breathe in and out, floating the arms up. Good. One more. And then just come into some nice shoulders. And that's it. Well done. Give yourselves a clap. That's your Pilates session done.